We were frosting cupcakes at the kitchen island when Mom typed change of plans into the family group chat. I was lining blueberries in a perfect ring. 20 candles waited on the counter, 2 playlists queued, paper lanterns hung from the porch. It was simple and sweet the way I wanted to turn 18. Then my sister Sable thundered down the stairs in sunglasses and a robe like a moody celebrity and said, "If I'm miserable, nobody gets a party." She meant it. She always does. The storm that morning had shut down half the flights on the East Coast. Sable's girls' trip to Miami Post's pre-drafted outfits bagged was postponed. She declared the universe had wronged her personally. Dad and Mom tiptoed. I kept quiet. I've learned the rules in our house. Sable's feelings set the weather. The rest of us carry umbrellas. By 4 o'clock, the driveway should have been full. Instead, the only vehicles were ours and the neighbor's dented sedan. At 5, the caterer texted Dad for a gate code. Dad replied, "Event canceled, client ill, client," like I was a booking. I didn't see the text? Not yet. At 6, I redid my eyeliner and waited by the front window. I kept scanning the street lights, pretending each passing pair of headlights belonged to friends. 7 sharp, the living room was still silent except for the fish tank pump and Sable's sighs from the sofa. "Where's everyone?" I asked. Mom's mouth twitched. "We told them not to come, Lena." "Why?" Sable peeled off her sunglasses. "Because I'm grieving, obviously." I laughed short and mean because what else was left? "You're grieving a beach." She stood. "You think it's funny that I spent 6 weeks planning content around this? That my brand depends on reliability? You have a brand." Lena Dad cut in low. "We thought it would be insensitive to celebrate when your sister is in distress." Insensitive. I stared at the dining room. 20 place cards. The banner looped in a neat arc. I'd made it myself last night, punched holes, threaded string, measured spacing with a ruler. The word 18 looked like it was apologizing to me. "You canceled my birthday without telling me." Mom attempted a soothing tone. "We told everyone you had a migraine so they wouldn't bother you with messages. You lied about me being sick so I wouldn't find out you canceled my party." Sable's voice sharpened. "You're being selfish. You've always been like this." "I've always been the quiet one. The list maker. The designated driver even before I had a license. My name is Lena Quill, and in my family, I'm the responsible one." Translation: the discardable one. But something in me cracked then, not loud clean. Like a glass with a hairline fracture finally giving up. "No," I said, "I'm done." I grabbed the banner and yanked. The tape popped. Letters flipped. Egg, something tumbled across the floor. Sable gasped like I'd kicked a puppy. Dad started Lena. The doorbell rang. Nobody moved. It rang again. By reflex, I walked over and opened it. Cold air spilled in. On the porch stood my grandfather, Harlan Quill, in a dark coat. Hair, neat eyes, tired in a way I hadn't seen since Grandma's funeral. "Evening," he said. "Happy birthday, kiddo." He handed me a small box wrapped in brown paper and twine like a parcel from another century. Then he looked past me into the house and registered the toppled banner, the untouched food, the stunned faces. "What happened?" Sable plastered on a smile. "Granddad, we were just—" "Don't," he said without raising his voice. He's the only person Sable can't charm by blinking. I wasn't going to hide it. Not anymore. So I told him. I started with the storm, the canceled flights, the "if I'm miserable, nobody gets a party," the migraine lie, the empty driveway. I said all of it simply like reading a grocery list you're finally throwing away. By the time I finished, Grandpa's jaw had gone tight. He turned to Dad. "Haben." Dad spread his hands helplessly. We were trying to keep the peace. "At your daughter's expense." Grandpa's voice didn't get louder. It didn't have to. Again, Sable rolled her eyes. "Oh, please. I'm the one who got hurt here." "Your trip is delayed," Sable Grandpa said. Lena's milestone was erased. Mom tried the gentle approach. "Harlan, we misread the moment. We were protecting Sable's mental health. She's been under pressure with her work, and—" "Her work is videos about skincare," I said. The pettiness in me was visiting wearing glitter. Grandpa put a hand on my shoulder and squeezed once. "I'm sorry, Lena." He looked back at my parents. "I'm also sorry for assuming the monthly support I've been sending was helping you do right by both girls." Dad blinked. "Dad, you knew he was sending money." I looked at Mom. "For how long?" She colored. "A while." The brown paper box in my hands felt heavier. Grandpa went on, calm as a winter road. "Stipends, mortgage help, business bridge loans. The party budget, too. You asked me for it 2 weeks ago. You said it would mean the world to Lena." His voice softened just enough to make it hurt. "It does mean the world to her, and you canceled it to tiptoe around an adult daughter's sulk." "I'm not sulking," Sable snapped. "I'm spiraling." Grandpa turned to her. "You are 24 years old and perfectly capable of surviving a rescheduled vacation." Silence except for the fish tank and my heart punching my ribs. Grandpa took a breath. I won't be sending another dollar. Dad stepped forward fast. Dad, wait, the shop. I said what I said. Grandpa looked at me again. Lena, get your things. If you want, you can come with me tonight. The room tilted, then steadied. Are you serious? As a heart attack. He looked back to my parents. She's been carrying this family's weather long enough. Mom's face did something brittle. You can't just take her. I'm not taking her. I'm opening my door. She'll choose. I chose. I walked upstairs with my phone buzzing in my hand as messages pinged in from numbers that had stayed silent all day. I ignored them. In my room, the string lights hummed softly. The dress I'd planned to wear still hung from the closet door. I stripped, folded it, laid it in my duffel like a small ceremony. I grabbed my toiletries, my journal, the photo of Grandma and me feeding the ducks when I was 5. I hesitated over the box Grandpa had given me, then slid it into the side pocket. Downstairs, Dad was talking quickly, promising changes. Mom was crying quietly. Sable had retreated to Instagram, angling her phone for the light to catch in her hair, all that practiced sorrow. When I reached the foyer, she stepped into my path. You're actually going— She sounded less angry than bewildered. Over this I said, and everything that taught me to accept this. She scoffed. You love being the martyr. Then stop giving me material. She moved like she might grab my wrist. Grandpa's eyes flicked to her hand. She dropped it. We stepped into the night. The storm had blown out, leaving the sky scrubbed and cold. The neighbor's porch owls glowed solar green. The paper lanterns on our porch swayed a little stubborn and useless. As Grandpa drove, he didn't say much. The wipers squeaked twice at a leftover mist and fell silent. The town slid by in familiar snapshots, the hardware store with the pink ladder out front. The diner with 7 kinds of relish lined in little jars. The car wash whale mural I painted in 9th grade still missing a fin, because I had to leave early for Sable's pageant rehearsal. Breadcrumbs. All the tiny stories that add up. I should have come sooner, Grandpa said finally. To the party, to you. His hands tightened on the wheel. I saw things. I excused things. I told myself, they're young parents. They'll learn. They didn't. That's on me. I didn't know what to do with that, so I pressed my forehead to the cold window and let the night hold my hot face. After a while, I found my voice. Yeah. Thank you for showing up. Always, he said. From now on, always. We reached his cottage by the inlet cedar shingles, a wind chime made of old keys, a porch swing that moaned like a friendly ghost. Inside smelled like lemon oil and coffee. He set my duffel by the guest room and nodded toward the kitchen. There's stew on the stove, and cake. I figured your mother would have cake. I was wrong. Let's save the cake, I said. I want to open your present first. We sat at the table. I peeled back the paper. Inside was a small wooden box with hinges smooth as thought. I opened it. Nestled in blue felt lay Grandma's locket. Inside, 2 tiny photos, her on the left, me on the right, taken at the duck pond day. On the back, a new engraving, LQ Choose Your Weather. Happy birthday, Lena, Grandpa said. I cried then, because of course I did. Not the big ugly kind. Quiet tears that tasted like relief. My phone lit up with messages I didn't open. The last one previewed on the lock screen from Mom. We never meant to hurt you. We just knew you're stronger. There it was, the family motto written like a compliment. You're strong so you can take it, so we can give it. I clicked the phone off and slid the locket chain over my head. The metal warmed against my skin. I wish I could say that was the end. That the door closed and the new life began clean. But families don't let go easily and old patterns don't unlatch without a fight. The next days brought apologies with strings, a confrontation I didn't expect, and a truth I never asked for but can't unknow. Tomorrow I'll tell you how the messages turned into a trap, who walked me home when Sable waited outside the school gates, and what Grandpa admitted that changed the way I understand my own beginning. I woke up in Grandpa's guest room to gulls and the clink of a spoon in a mug. The locket warmed where it had settled at my collarbone. The house smelled like lemon oil and cinnamon. For the first time in months, my chest didn't feel like a clenched fist. Grandpa slid a mug toward me. House rules, he said. 3 of them. You eat, you sleep, you don't apologize for taking up space. I smiled into the steam. I'll try. Don't try, he said. Do. My phone lit the table. 32 unread messages. The newest was from Mom. We're sorry if you felt overlooked. Come home and we can plan something small. No noise, no people, so Sable isn't triggered. Apology with a landmine, I muttered. Grandpa lifted a brow. That word if is where the trap lives. I typed back, thank you for the apology. I'm safe here. Please direct communication through Grandpa for now. Seconds later, Sable chimed in, you're embarrassing us. Fix it with Granddad. He's being dramatic. I locked the phone and slid it face down. At school, people kept asking if my migraine was better. I let them. It was easier than explaining weather systems inside a family. Maya found me at my locker with a grape soda and a look that said spill. Maya has been my anchor since 7th grade. We met at a science fair when my volcano refused to erupt and hers flooded the gym. She's the kind of person who brings snacks to every conversation and remembers your exam days without checking a calendar. I heard Storm. I heard no party. I heard Sable, she said. Which one broke you? All of them, I said, but I'm okay. You don't have to be brave to impress me. She bumped my shoulder. You need a ride after last bell? I'm walking to Grandpa's. It's close. Then you're not walking alone, said Rowan from the next locker down. Rowan is a head taller than everyone and built like a tree trunk. He's the validator in my life, the friend who points at the pattern you've been making excuses for and names it. Sables posted 3 stories with the caption, Betrayal. I don't like it. I'll be fine, I said. You don't have to be, Maya countered. The last period bell rang. We spilled out with everyone else. Outside, the air smelled like wet asphalt and pretzels from the snack cart. That's when I saw the silver SUV idling half a block down, tinted windows, glossy, familiar. Sable leaned against the hood in a camel coat and white sneakers, eyes hidden again. She looked like an ad for perfume called Suffering. Rowan swore under his breath. Stay on the main sidewalk. Cameras everywhere. Hey, Mouse, Sable called when I was close enough. Mouse, the childhood nickname that used to feel like sugar and now tastes like chalk. We need to talk, alone. I'm not going anywhere private with you, I said. Whatever you have to say it here. A junior named Ari slowed her bike. She knows everything that happens on our block before it happens. Want me to stay? She asked lightly. Sure, Rowan said, stepping a half pace in front of me. Public is good. Sable's smile tightened. You've poisoned him against us, too cute. I kept my hands in my pockets. What do you want? Mom can't eat. Dad hasn't slept. The shop could go under. She widened her eyes like a stage actor. If you love them, you'll talk to Granddad and tell him you overreacted. I didn't overreact, I said. And it's not my job to fund a business that forgets I exist. She laughed once. This is because of a cake. This is because of everything that made the cake make sense. Her gaze flicked to my locket. He gave you that? Of course he did. She stepped forward, hand lifting like she might touch it. Rowan moved. Don't. Back off, Redwood, she snapped. She looked at me again. Fine. You want conditions? We'll give you one. Come home quietly. Apologize publicly for the scene you made last night. I didn't make a scene. I left. And stop turning Grandpa against the family. Do that and we'll plan a makeup dinner next month. Private. No guests. So I get a secret birthday if I behave, I said. Sable's voice thinned. Or stay with a bitter old man and watch Mom collapse. Don't weaponize her, I said. It's lazy. Ari's bike wheel clicked faintly where she'd put a toe on a spoke. The sound was tiny and sharp like a metronome behind Sable's performance. A gull cried overhead. Car brakes sighed at the corner. Sable's control slipped. You think you're special because a storm canceled my trip? She took a step closer. You've always been jealous. Of what I asked. The way they made you the sun and told me to be grateful for the shade? She lunged. It wasn't dramatic, just fast. 2 fingers hooked the chain at my neck and yanked. The clasp bit my skin. Rowan's arm came between us solid as a beam. The chain didn't break, my breath did. Let go, Rowan said. Make me. Okay, he said and peeled her hand off like removing tape. He didn't hurt her. He didn't have to. He's annoying that way. Sable stumbled back, cheeks blotched. You hit me. Nobody hit you, Ari said, very cheerful like narrating a cooking show. Her phone was in her hand now, camera open. But your hand went for her necklace, on video. Sable's face froze for a second. Then she smoothed it. You're not worth this, she told me. You never were. She slid into the SUV and slammed the door. The car purred away. My throat burned. I hadn't realized I'd been holding my breath until it hurt to let it go. Shaky, Maya asked, appearing with 2 napkins and a chocolate cupcake that she swore she didn't plan, even though the frosting matched my dress from last night. Maybe a little. Rowan scanned the street like a bodyguard in a movie. Send the clip to Harlan, he told Ari. Timestamped. Cloud backup. If they try anything, we like receipts. Ari snapped a salute and pedaled off. Rowan walked me to Grandpa's porch. Before I went in, he said, You don't have to do this alone ever again. I hear you, I said. Saying it out loud made something in my spine unknot. Inside, Grandpa listened without interrupting jaw working. When I described the locket grab, his hands curled on the table. We're calling Deputy Rivera, he said. Not to press charges, to make a record. Paper trails keep bullies humble. He dialed. The conversation was brisk. When he hung up, he went to the den and returned with a fireproof box. He set it down between us and spun the combination. There's something else, he said. You deserve the truth. I should have told you sooner. My breath went uneven again for a different reason. He lifted out a thin folder and a photograph. The photo showed my mother, 8 months pregnant, hair a mess, smile brave. It was dated 2 weeks before I was born. He slid the folder to me. Inside were forms with stamped dates and lines filled in with careful blue ink. Application for voluntary relinquishment. Prospective adoptive placement paperwork. A letter from an agency. A hospital note. In the margin, a name I didn't know, baby quill pending. I don't understand, I said, though. I did. They planned for one child, Grandpa said softly. Then life said two. Your mother's parents, good people, insisted the second was a blessing. They died suddenly. Your mother broke for a while. Your father panicked. They made a plan I couldn't abide. His eyes found mine. Your grandmother and I refused. We told them, if you won't keep her, we will. They relented. They resented. That poison seeped into everything. The room tilted again. The keys on the wind chime tapped the glass door like fingers asking to be let in. So they didn't want me, I said the words plain and terrible. They didn't know how to want you, he said. There's a difference. It doesn't excuse a minute of how they treated you. I closed the folder. The locket felt heavy, then right. Pieces I'd been carrying without names slid into place and locked. I'm not going back, I said. I didn't ask you to. But I am going to test them, I said. The idea had been forming all day, tooth by tooth. Not because I want to return, because I want proof of who they choose when nobody is watching. I'll set a boundary they can meet only by treating us as separate adults. If they can't, that's their confession. Grandpa didn't smile, but his eyes warmed. What boundary? If they want me under their roof, Sable moves out first. She's 24, she has a job. If they can't choose fairness for once, I have my answer. That's clean, he said. I typed the message. It felt clinical to write. That helped. I hit send and set the phone down. We ate stew. We split a slice of the saved cake. We watched the inlet darken to ink. At 9, my phone buzzed again. Dad, we'll discuss and get back to you. Mom, this is cruel. Sable home is mine. I muted the thread and went to rinse dishes. Through the window, the porch light threw a soft circle onto the steps. Moths battered themselves at it, frantic for brightness, unable to rest. I recognized the feeling. Before bed, Grandpa knocked on my door. One more thing, he said. If they escalate, we escalate calmly. We let facts speak. We don't trade insults. Lawyer rule. Life rules, he said. Sleep. I tried. I dreamed of a house where every room had a different weather. In one, it rained confetti that dissolved in your hands. In another, there was a wind but no sound. In the last, the air was clear and still. Morning would bring their answer, and something even stranger, a message from an uncle I barely knew. An offer that wasn't a gift, and a video I never asked to exist lighting a fuse I couldn't put out. Morning came gray and quiet. The gulls argued over nothing. The locket lay warm against my skin. I checked my phone with that small dread you get before a test. 3 messages waited. Dad, we considered your condition. It's not realistic. Families don't evict each other. Mom, we can't punish Sable for a tantrum. Be reasonable and come talk. Sable home is mine, period. I set the phone down like it might crack the table. Grandpa poured coffee and didn't comment. He slid the sugar closer. That was his comment. Before I could answer, a number I didn't recognize buzzed my screen. Uncle Theo. We've met twice. He lives 2 towns over, owns 3 car lots, speaks in deals. Theo heard there's drama. I'm buying in as a silent partner to keep your folks afloat. You can relax and stop the protest. Family sticks. I read it twice. Anonymous investors, I said dryly. How convenient. Grandpa raised one eyebrow. Theo called me last night. He said he'd solve the problem if I stayed out. I suggested he invest on the condition they make amends to you first. He hung up. Their new plan is to remove the need for me, I said. Their new plan is to avoid accountability, he corrected. I typed to Dad. Thanks for deciding. I'll stay here. Please don't contact me directly again. Emergencies can go through Grandpa. To Mom, boundaries aren't punishment. They're clarity. To Sable, got it. Theo chimed back, don't be dramatic, kid. They fed you for 18 years. I didn't reply. I've learned silence is an answer. At school, whispers ran ahead of me. People had seen Sable outside the gates yesterday. They'd seen Rowan block her hand. They'd seen me walk away. High school surveillance is better than any camera system. Ari rolled up on her bike with a grin and a warning. Heads up, she said. Someone else filmed the end of your sidewalk scene. It's on a local T account already. Comments are spirited. My stomach dropped. I hadn't wanted this online. We kept Ari's clip private on purpose. Who posted? Guy from tennis, she said. He thought it was wild. He tagged Sable. It's got 20,000 views. Rowan appeared like he always does when I forget I need him. We can't control it now, he said, but we can control our part. No public statements, no subtweets. If they smear you, we post the facts and stop. Maya squeezed my arm. I hate that this is content. The funny thing is, I said yesterday I wanted people to notice me. Today I want to disappear. By lunch, Sable had posted 3 stories, a black square with betrayal, a crying selfie with vague captions about toxicity, and a shot of her wrist with a faint red line. She didn't say I caused it. She didn't have to. Her followers did the math they wanted. Comments flooded my DMs. Some kind, some not. One stuck like a thorn, you stole her grandfather. The logic made me wince. It's how our house always worked, possession masquerading as love. I muted everything. We ate fries in the band room with the door propped. The radiator hissed like it had a secret. Maya split a granola bar exactly down the middle, which is one of the million reasons I trust her. Do I need to worry about going to my parents' place for the rest of my stuff, I asked. Not alone, Rowan said, not with tension high. Bring me, Maya said. I'll label boxes like a drill sergeant. I smiled. Deal. Grandpa texted me a photo after last bell, the folder from last night, now joined by a small black notebook. Caption found more. Come home. At the table, he opened the notebook. The cover was cracked. Inside were columns in Grandma's tidy script dates, amounts, notes, a private ledger. It's your grandmother's, he said. She tracked gifts so she could keep things fair. You know how she was. I ran my finger down the page. $10 to Lena for field trip, 10 to Sable for art supplies, 50 to each for birthdays. Then, 3 years ago, the balance shifted. Clinical support written next to Sable monthly. Next page, personal growth retreat, Sable again. Travel stipend for brand building Sable. My column grew sparse. Books, duffel for camp sneakers. Guilt pricked. Not because I'd had less, but because I'd swallowed my want so often it felt normal. Grandpa watched my face. I didn't see this while she was alive, he said. If I had, I would have asked questions. I missed it. It explains why they forget fairness so easily, I said. They've had practice. He nodded once. This isn't ammunition, it's perspective. Use it if you need to remember you're not imagining things. Before I could answer, my phone lit up. Dad, again. We'll be at the shop after closing if you want to talk like adults. No drama. Your uncle will be there. Let's resolve this before more damage is done. 2 hours. An empty store. Theo. Every instinct in me said no. Another instinct, the one that hates running, said go with witnesses and eyes open. Rowan didn't hesitate. I'm in. Maya grabbed her tote. I'm bringing a clipboard. Lawyer rule, Grandpa said. We don't go without an additional adult. I'll come. We meet in public area. We don't enter offices. We record audio. We send our location to Deputy Rivera. Is that overkill, I asked. It's preparation, he said. Overkill is bringing a flamethrower to a candle problem. We're bringing water. We ate quick. I changed into jeans and my boots. The sky turned pewter as we drove. The shop sat at the edge of the industrial park where the river bends a squat building with bright flags and a cracked asphalt lot. Outside, wind chimes made of cutlery clinked like distant bells. Through the glass, I could see Mom at the counter, hands folded tight. Dad stood behind her jaw set. Theo leaned on a display of phone chargers like he owned oxygen. Sable was there too, of course, in a hoodie with the hood up, hair tucked, camera ready, sad. Grandpa parked where the dash cam would see everything. He turned to me. Last chance to change your mind. I'm done changing my mind for them, I said. We went in. The bell over the door chimed a cheerful lie. Dad started with the voice he uses with customers. Thank you for coming. He looked at the others. Let's keep this civil. Theo flashed a salesman's smile. We're all family. Sable sniffed. Some of us remember that. Grandpa nodded once at each of them and said nothing. He took a seat where he could see exits and mirrors. I stood next to Rowan and Maya, back straight, hands steady around the strap of my bag. Dad gestured to a table between racks of cases. Let's sit. We'll stand, Grandpa said. We won't be long. Theo spread his hands. Here's what's happening. I'm covering their shortfall. In exchange, I'm advising strategy. Step 1, end the social media circus. Lena posted a note saying you overreacted and you're taking time offline. That lets Sable's narrative cool. Sable's eyes cut to me. It's not a narrative. It's my truth. Grandpa's mouth twitched, the only sign he'd heard that sentence too many times in courtrooms. Dad jumped in. If you do this, we reset. We'll plan something small for you. No, I said. I'm not negotiating my story to save your optics. Mom's voice shook. We're drowning. Your grandfather pulled the rope. Help us tie it back. Grandpa didn't pull anything, I said. He stopped pretending the rope was air. Theo's smile thinned. Then here's my counter. If you won't fix the online mess, sign a short statement saying you're choosing to live with Harlan by preference, not because of abuse. We'll keep it private. But if things escalate, we'll need it. Rowan exhaled hard. There it is. Is this a non-disclosure about my life, I asked. It's protection, Theo said, for everyone. Grandpa stepped forward finally. His voice was soft steel. She doesn't sign anything. We're done. Dad frowned. You can't keep inserting yourself. I'm her guardian tonight, Grandpa said. And her witness. And the only adult in this room offering her safety without a price. I felt heat behind my eyes. I didn't want it to show. My hands found the locket like a habit and steadied. Sable shoved her chair back. If you loved us, you'd stop hurting Mom. If you loved me, I said you wouldn't set the terms as my silence. The room buzzed faintly. The refrigerator in the back room, the fluorescent lights clicking the low hum. Every shop has, when you're quiet enough to hear it. That's when the bell chimed again. Deputy Rivera stepped in, hat tucked under his arm, expression neutral. Evening, he said. Got a call that there might be a volatile family meeting happening. Thought I'd swing by. Grandpa didn't look at me, but I knew. He'd sent the location like he said. Rivera's presence changed the air. The performance drained out of Theo's smile. Sable slumped harder into her hood. Dad put both palms on the table like it might ground him. We were just leaving, Grandpa said. No, Mom blurted, then bit her lip. I mean, please, just 5 minutes. Let us give Lena something she left. She stepped behind the counter and lifted a small gift bag with tissue paper. Harmless, normal. The kind of bag you get from a nice candle shop. She held it out to me with 2 hands, eyes wet. It's yours, she said. No tricks. Every nerve in me said don't. But the room was watching. Rivera's gaze rested on the bag, then my face calm but alert. I took it. It was heavier than it looked. Inside, under tissue, was a velvet box. Not jewelry, too large. I opened it. Papers, copies, a flash drive taped inside the lid. My name and my mother's handwriting on the top page dated last winter. What is this? My voice sounded far away. Proof, Mom said, of our side. The fluorescent light hummed louder, or maybe I finally heard it. The gravel outside crunched under a new set of tires. The sky in the window looked bruised. I closed the box. I didn't know yet what I'd find on that drive. I didn't know my mother had been building a file or that a video I hadn't seen would sit on it like a spark in dry grass. We walked out with Rivera beside us, the bell chiming our exit. On the sidewalk, the wind tasted like metal. Grandpa's hands were steady on the wheel when we left. At home, I set the velvet box on the table like a bomb and stood. Tomorrow I'd open it. Tomorrow a sound I thought I knew my own voice would come back to me from someone else's phone, and the truth I'd been circling would stand up and turn around. I didn't sleep much. The velvet box sat on the dresser like it had gravity. By morning, the whole house felt quiet in a different way, like sound was waiting. Grandpa set his laptop on the kitchen table and wiped the screen with his handkerchief. Eat first, he said. I ate half a slice of toast. My stomach argued. The locket felt heavier than yesterday. We plugged in the flash drive. The click was small, but I swear I felt it in my ribs. A gray window opened. 4 folders. Photos. Medical. Financial. Context. I heard the key wind chime tap the glass door. The inlet outside was flat as paper. I took a breath and opened financial. Receipts, screenshots, transfers from Grandpa, transfers from Uncle Theo, credits to Content Travel Brand Retreat Wellness Seminar. Notes in Mom's handwriting. We'll make it up to Lena later. Sable needs this for stability. Tell Dad to ask Harlan nicely. Grandpa didn't speak. He just put a legal pad between us and wrote dates in a neat column. He underlined the day of my canceled party and drew an arrow to a transfer labeled Event Budget LQ. Below it, a second transfer trip delay comp S. Twice the party amount, same day. My throat went tight. I clicked back and opened medical. Scans of forms. 1 letter stood out. Postpartum psychosis resolved. Another grief-induced depressive episode monitor. A note from a family therapist. Parents report splitting older child fragile, younger resilient. Risk parentification of younger. A highlighted line in the margin. Do not offload stabilization duties onto adolescent. The ink might as well have been a flare. There it was. In black and white. A stranger had warned them years ago. They'd read it. They'd kept going. Grandpa nodded once tight. Save a copy, he said. Cloud and drive. I clicked context. Grandpa and I opened a folder packed with audio and clips, names typed in a rush. Call, birthdate, M4A, kitchen, 8 p.m., mov shop, talk, Theo, M4A. The last one was dated last week. Start with the birthday call, he said. Mom's voice filled the room. Warm, practiced. Little Lena has a sudden migraine. Doctor says dark room, no screens. Please don't text till tomorrow. Underneath the faint hum of our fish pump. Then Sable's whisper. Say sudden. It sounds more serious. Click. We played kitchen 8 p.m. move. The phone was propped by the coffee maker tilted. It saw me ripping down the banner. The doorbell rang. Mom's face wasn't sad, relieved. Pause, Grandpa said. In the quiet, Dad whispered, Thank God it's Harlan. He'll fix it. Mom, if he cuts us off, Theo can step in. The door wasn't for me. It was for leverage. Shop talk, Theo.M4A confirmed it. Cups clinking, slick voices, Theo. She's leverage while she's under your roof. Mom, I can get her to apologize if we frame it as protecting me. Theo, people eat fragile mother. It sells. Facts now, Grandpa said. We saved labeled timed. Then garage tumbalvatsat move sable pacing. You promised if I hit numbers by spring, you'd talk to him about moving her out. Mom, we can't force her out. We can make her uncomfortable. It's easier if she leaves mad. Photos. Then a loan file VID Grandma. MOV. Grandma on the porch, wind chimes soft. Bird, I see you. Doing the lists isn't love, it's training. Your mother broke. Your father got lazy with courage. Your sister got greedy for safety. None of that is yours. If you need a place, go to Harlan. Choose your weather, even if they call you selfish. We built a record folder, printed a timeline. Deputy Rivera read it all. Don't post, don't threaten. If they smear you answer once with documentation, then go quiet. That night, a gift bag arrived, a thumb drive, raw, use wisely. Clinic odd.wma. Week before I was born, stranger. You're certain about relinquishment, Mom? Yes, Dad, I don't know. Grandpa's hand on my chair, they only stopped when we said we'd take you. I wrote a statement and booked a glass room at the library. Neutral space, witnesses. I slid pages across the table. I won't be your weather anymore. 1 year, no contact. Emergencies through Harlan or Deputy Rivera. Therapy if you want a future. We signed, we left. Aunt Leah handed me a tin lunchbox and a map to a storage unit. Grandma's journals, a draft for the weather fund, a small check, a letter, build the dry ground you needed. By fall, the fund helped a kid named Ren buy a lock and a lamp. Mom later sent a short note, therapy, 2 months, no asks. I kept my name, Quill. I stood by the river and held the locket, choose your weather. Choose your bombashia. When did you learn the difference between leaving and being left? And what weather are you choosing next?